Hello students, welcome to your virtual class. Today we are going to read the chapter The Ailing Planet written by Nani Palkhiwala. This is actually a kind of an article which was written by Nani Palkhiwala and it is published in the Indian Express on 24th November 1994. The issues that he raised regarding the declining health of the earth continue to have relevance. So this chapter is actually based upon degrading position of Mother Earth. The present scenario of India is highly deplorable as a report of Parliament's estimates committee highlights near catastrophic depletion of India's forests at the rate of 3.7 million acres of a year. The article The Ailing Planet, the Green Movement's Role was written by Nani Palkhiwala and published in the Indian Express on 24th November. Let's start the chapter started with the Green Movement's role. What is Green Movement? The Green Movement, a term that includes the conservation and green politics. It is a diverse scientific, social and political movement for addressing environmental issues. Environmentalists advocate the sustainable management of resources and stewardship of the environment through changes in public policy and individual behavior. In its recognition of humanity as a participant in ecosystems, the movement is centered on ecology, health, and human rights. So, what is the reasons, causes? The main reason is mankind is now the number one cause of all the destruction happening on this earth. As well as trying to destroy each other on the battlefield, we are the cause of a series of other disasters, beginning with the industrial exploitation of the resources of the earth. The seas, oceans are being poisoned by chemical products like oils, industrial and human waste. On land, especially in the industrial countries where most waste is actually manufactured, there is increasingly little room to bury it, and even when buried, noxious elements leach out and destroy the health of that area. An even greater problem is the disposal of atomic waste, unsafe to dump into the sea and even more unsafe to bury under the land. Forests are cut down for many reasons, but most of them are related to money or to people's need to provide for their family. What are the consequences of this? This has resulted in a widespread ongoing extinction of other species during the present geological epoch, now known as the Holocene extinction. The large-scale loss of species caused by human influence since the 1950s has been called a biotic crisis, with an estimated 10% of the total species lost as of 2007. At current rates, about 30% of species are at the risk of extinction in the next 100 years. In the present day, human activity has had a significant impact on the surface of the planet. More than a third of the land surface has been modified by human actions, and humans use about 20% of global primary production. The Holocene extinction event is the result of habitat destruction, the widespread distribution of invasive species, hunting, and climate change. The concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has increased by close to 30% since the start of the Industrial Revolution. What are the present condition of our motherland? Earth's present condition is that it is in damaged state and under threat from dangers, including those arising from global warming. These threats include greenhouse gases, droughts, floods, hunger and famine, and devastating diseases such as malaria, AIDS, dengue. Some expert scientists are calling for carbon taxes to cut the risk. Damage from flooding alone could run into billions of dollars as creeks and estuaries begging to fill up and more ice melts. Climate change is seen by some scientists to present the biggest threat to our world today. The whole world needs to effect remedial strategies by cooperating. Levels of gases such as carbon dioxide are rising still, and we are still at the risk from deforestation and the burning of fossil fuels. Greenhouse gases may cause the world to warm up as the heat cannot escape effectively from the surface of the planet. All of this might throw the natural rhythms of our world's climate. That is where we are at right now. What is the future of Earth? As the world consumes ever more fossil fuel energy, greenhouse gas concentrations will continue to rise and Earth's average temperature will rise with them. Global warming will result in more hot days and fewer cool days, with the greatest warming happening over land. Longer, more intense heat waves will happen more often. High latitudes and generally wet places will tend to receive more rainfall, while tropical regions and generally dry places will probably receive less rain. Increases in rainfall will come. Ecosystems will shift as those plants and animals that adapt the quickest will move into new areas to compete with the currently established species. Those species that cannot adapt quickly enough will face extinction. Scientists note with increasing concern that 21st century could see one of the greatest periods of mass extinction of species in the Earth's entire history. The World Commission on Environment and Development popularized the concept of sustainable development in 1987. It defined the idea as the development that meets the needs of the present without endangering the ability of future generations to meet their needs. Man is the most dangerous animal in the world. Now he has realized the wisdom of shifting from a system based on domination to one based on partnership. Scientists have arranged a list of 1.4 million living species on Earth besides man. About 3 to 100 million other living species still stay unnamed in accumulating darkness. Ultimately, global warming will impact life on Earth in many ways, but the extent of the change is up to us. The form of wetter storms rather than in the form of more rainy days. In between those large storms will be longer periods of light or no rain. So, the frequency and severity of drought will increase. So what kinds of measures to be taken to stop this? Buying and using fluorescent light bulbs, turning off lights and other electronic equipments when we leave a room or that are not in use. Avoid using chemical pesticides or fertilizers in your yard and garden. Many fertilizers are a source of nitrous oxide, a greenhouse gas that contributes to global warming. Use or try organic products instead. Waste food material, paper, decaying vegetables. Plastics should not be thrown into open drains. Keep your vehicle well maintained. Poorly maintained engine both creates more air pollution and uses more fuel also. Replace oil and air filters regularly and keep your tires properly inflated. What is the message of this chapter now? What Nani Palkhiwala want to say to you? The future of humanity will depend on how we steward the resources of land, of soil, of water and seas and pass them on to our future generations. Remember, we have not inherited this earth from our forefathers, we have borrowed it from our children. So please try to save your Mother Earth. Thank you.